Good day, everybody. So, the vaccine passport system is officially in effect in Ontario, and received some news today in my newsfeed. I think they posted it on Instagram yesterday or something. There's a local restaurant in my area called Zucchini Cucina. It's an Italian restaurant in Oakville. Never been there, never had their food. But they made a post on Instagram saying they're not going to discriminate against anybody based on race, gender, age, sex, or vaccinated, unvaccinated. And of course, they're receiving a lot of praise on Instagram. I think there was one or two comments indicating that they're disappointed and they won't be eating there. But when I went on Instagram, and I never use Instagram, I saw that most people were saying, yay, good for you, standing up for freedom, yada, yada, yada. This freedom thing ain't going away. I was worried that, Canada had given up on freedom, but, based on the turnout of PPC voters in the last election, I've been given a new sense of hope. So if you're aware, in Canada, we have the only populist party in Canada, the PPC, the People's Party of Canada, headed by Maxime Bernier, who was once a member of the Conservative Party of Canada. And when he lost his bid for leadership by the narrowest of margins to Andrew Scheer, and there's people who believe there was some shenanigans going on, he ended up, and then he basically was treated like crap by party insiders. He said, to hell with this, I'm going to start my own party, and he did. Anyway, so when they first ran in 2019, I want to say, they got something like, a couple 100,000 votes, 120,000 votes. This time around, they got 300,000 votes. They came in second in a number of ridings. They didn't win any ridings, but they tripled their support. My local candidate, Gilbert Jubenville, tripled his support since 2019. That's pretty good. In 2 years' time, tripling your support. Not only that, they got they met the 5%. I think it's a 5% threshold. So now they get federal funding for campaign activities in upcoming elections. They've hit that qualifier. Anyway, that's not why I want to make this video. I want to make this video in support of Zucchini Cucina, a small, independently owned restaurant. I went to their website. Food looks really good. I love Italian food. Now, I mentioned this back during the beginning of the pandemic that since the wife and I are working from home, we've decided that Fridays are going to be our skip the dishes, DoorDash, order in kind of night. And truth is, we order in more than that. But Friday, it's like we take turns picking on where we're going to eat. Now, it's Melina's turn to pick this week, and she's not really interested in getting food from this place because they're all the way in Oakville. It'll be cold by the time it comes to us. But I said, okay, well, next week we're getting Zucchini Cucina. Whether it is we go out there or we order it. If we order it, my concern is it's going to be cold by the time we get it. But you know what? This is a revolutionary act. This is like that guy who had the barbecue place in Toronto, who got shut down because he wasn't going to close down his business. He said, to hell with this, I'm opening my business, back when they were saying restaurants had to be closed. This is like that, except restaurants are now allowed to be open, but unless people are proving that they are vaccinated with the app or a printout of their vaccination status, they cannot sit down and dine in, which is a load of horse shit. See, the stupid thing about this is the vaccinated can be sick, and as long as they have proof of vaccination, they can go in and spread the virus all they want. But a healthy, unvaccinated person, they can't go in and sit down at a restaurant. Never mind the fact that people working in that restaurant, they don't have to show their patrons proof of vaccination status. People making food, people serving food, they don't have to show proof of vaccination to their patrons. But patrons, of course, have to show proof of vaccination. it's ridiculous. It's retarded. And I applaud Zucchini Cucina for taking the bold step and saying, to hell with this provincial mandate, we're not doing it. Now, apparently they're going to be facing fines of up to $1,000, I think, per violation. Now, I don't know if that means per patron they let in or per time they've been cited, so to speak. But apparently it could reach up to $1 million, a maximum fine of $1 million. I don't know how popular this place is. Apparently they're quite popular in Oakville. I don't know what kind of business they turn, if they're very profitable or not. Restaurants have a hard time making money in the best of circumstances. So, I wish them all the best of luck. I support their decision fully. I will show my support by spending my dollars there. And I call upon you, if you're in my area, or if in an area where a restaurateur or a business or what have you is saying, we're not abiding by this mandate, then support them. If you feel like you want to support them, but I think it's worth supporting them. Because the fact of the matter is, all these businesses that got in line back in the early days of the pandemic, back when the lockdowns happened, all of them got in line because they didn't want to face fines. And now how many of them had to close up permanently because they couldn't be bothered to say, to hell with this, I'm not ruining my business because my politician, our politicians are afraid, or our politicians think it makes good politics to do this. They're not the ones that have to pay my employees. They're not the ones that have to pay my leaseholder. They're not the ones that have to pay, for food spoilage. Oh, they're going to give me tax breaks? Great. Well, that money came out of my pocket in the first place. So basically, they're just handing me back some money. If more people had stood up, like that restaurateur in Toronto with the barbecue place, if more people stand up, like Zucchini Cucina, they'll think twice about it. They'll move back on it. I don't call for rioting and civil unrest where you're setting shit on fire. I support civil disobedience and just refusal to comply. Just say, no, we're not doing it. Okay, fine me. Okay, fine me. Get the fines, keep them in your paperwork, call your lawyer. Do that. Then get together with other like-minded restaurateurs and business owners and entrepreneurs and file a class action lawsuit against the government. I don't know if it'll go anywhere, but the thing is, no one ever complied their way out of tyranny. You have to push back. You have to refuse to cooperate. So I may have mentioned this in the live stream, but the wife and I, we have to go to Quebec in a couple of weeks. Her aunt passed away. That aunt that I was saying we were going to deliver groceries to all the time? She passed away. Not from COVID. She just was, really old, and she passed away. We have to go there for a celebration of life. There's going to be, my wife's family is huge, so there's going to be a ton of people. Now, originally we were going to do it at one of her relatives' houses because they have a big house, but Quebec has a mandate in place where you can't have gatherings in your home of more than 10 people. So they've decided they're going to do it at a restaurant where you can have up to 40 people, which makes no fucking sense. But anyway, they're doing that. And I said, that's going to be rough, Melina, because I'm not participating in this vaccine passport thing. The wife was a little upset by that. She understands my position, but she's upset that I'm basically not going to be joining in the celebration of life. I mean, I'll go to Quebec, but when I walk up to the restaurant and walk up to the door and they say, we need to see your vaccine passport, I'll say, no, thank you. If they say, well, sorry, you can't come in unless you show us, I'll say, all right then. And I'll kiss my wife and I'll say, enjoy your meal. I'm going back to the hotel. Because I am not going to abide. I am not going to participate. And I don't care if it hurts people's feelings. I don't care if it causes controversy in the family. I don't care if it puts my wife in a bad position. I'm sorry, honey, but I'm not going to abide. I love my wife, but there are certain things that you need to stand up for, and principles are one of those things, because if we don't have our principles, what separates us from animals? If we don't have things that we stand up for, then what's the point in trying to live free? And anyway, that's how I feel about it. Support your local business that stands in defiance of these passport mandates. I plan to. I will be ordering from Zucchini Cucina. If there's a restaurant in your area that's doing the same as Zucchini Cucina, please support them. Support your local revolutionary. Okay, love y'all. Bye-bye.